the fight is finally over, yet the MMA community is more divided than ever. Every top analyst has a different story to tell about what truly unfolded inside the cage, and not everyone agrees with the official narrative.
What he had to do and was really tested in ways that we haven't seen him tested before. I mean, it was a difficult fight, although he won by, you know, a good margin, a healthy margin. There was moments where you're used to Islam having a certain amount of control and dominance.
Islam went out, you know, the complete opposite now, against a bigger, strong, rangy guy who has good takedown defense, controlled him, shut him down. I don't know if he was in his head and Ian felt like he had to come out and shake hands in the 5th round or whatever, but you know, Islam did exactly what he needed to do to win that fight.
Very impressive how he can stay composed. Very impressive that things that would generally frustrate somebody, Islam can deal with, because he does get frustrated, but he deals with it. In every upset you've ever seen, in every sport you've ever seen an upset in, the same component, which is the athlete who's upset, finds himself in a contest harder than he thought it was going to be. He has less energy with more time on the clock than he thought he would have. And he starts to unravel. And there was moments that could bring a normal athlete real frustration, but Islam just dealt with it. That was the fight.
A great win for Islam. He breaks Anderson Silva's win streak record. He goes to 17 straight wins in the UFC. What a career. 29-1, 7 championship defenses. He's done it at 2 weight classes. He's creeping up into the GOAT conversation. One guy knew where to control the fight at any point, and that was Islam with his grappling. This is why grappling is the best base for MMA, because you can control the fight. Again, that word control, it's a very useful word, and it's a very important word for the sport. You can control the fight at any point if you have better grappling.
For the fight, former UFC champion Bisping says Islam Makhachev is a completely different level once he gets Garry down, with vicious ground and pound, elite submission threats, and suffocating top control. Even if Garry tries to shrimp, wall walk, and fight his way back up, Bisping believes Islam will drag him right back into his world, where wrestling is his bread and butter, and the warning is brutal. Islam will take Garry's back, sink in the hooks, and choke him unconscious.
But Islam Makhachev is a different kettle of fish altogether. The ground and pound is really strong and nasty. The submission threat obviously is very, very high level, but the control that he has. If he gets Garry down, he's going to struggle to get back to his feet. Now he's going to look for overhooks and look to shrimp and get back to the fence and wall walk and all this type of stuff. But Islam Makhachev, this is his bread and butter. This is what he does. And when you go to the wall, he's going to take you back and he's going to put the hooks in and he's going to choke you out.
However, Bisping admits Garry has the style to give Islam Makhachev a real chance, but he believes that advantage won't survive 5 brutal rounds. He predicts Islam will eventually find Garry, close the distance, and drag him into the grappling battle where Makhachev is at his most dangerous. And Bisping's final verdict is ruthless. Islam takes Garry down and gets the submission.
Who gives a shit about everyone else? But can he beat Islam Makhachev? Yes, he's got a style maybe to where he has a good chance, but I think over 5 rounds, Islam Makhachev will find him, will take him down.
Middleweight champion Israel Adesanya says Islam Makhachev is the safer pick, calling him the UFC's best fighter and trusting his elite pedigree, proven dominance, and ability to keep proving doubters wrong. But Adesanya sees Garry as the ultimate threat, a man who has called his shots and now stands 1 fight away from proving everyone wrong. He admits Islam could simply shut everything down and continue his reign as one of the sport's most dominant champions. Yet the upset story is too tempting. Adesanya is drawn to the possibility of Garry creating magic and shocking the world.
That could be an issue if it gets to around 4-5, because Ian don't slow down. Islam is right now the best fighter that the UFC has, a one-off top 2. If you put a gun to my head, who I'm gonna put money on this fight, I have to go Islam, because again, he's proved me wrong so many times, proved himself right so many times, and proved their pedigree, their lineage over there. This is his new weight class. He's done it right. He took it off the former champ with ease. So yeah, I have to go Islam. But you have moments like UFC 250, when the deck is stocked against Justin. Look what he did. He just had a stellar performance, masterful, overcame adversity to become champ on the White House lawn. That's magic. And this is another one of those fights where I'm like, this is it. Like, Ian's come to this point now to prove that he's the best in the world, and he's called his shots. So if he does it, woo, it'll be beautiful, it'll be magical. I like those stories. But also, you have guys who are just dominant champions, ahead of the herd, top two GOATs like Islam Makhachev just shutting it down and just reigning supreme. I have to go Islam.
Adesanya throws his final prediction behind Ian Garry, choosing the underdog because he believes in the magic of Garry finally making his bold promises come true. He picks Garry to shock Islam Makhachev and turn years of confidence and trash talk into a legendary upset.
But I'm gonna pick Garry because I don't know, I like magic. I like it when it happens. I like it when the moment transpires to what someone said for years and then they make it happen. So yeah, I'm gonna go Ian Garry.
To sum up, Chael Sonnen warns that if Ian Garry gets taken down, and he believes that's likely then ending up on his back against Islam Makhachev, is very bad news. Once Islam gets Garry grounded, Chael sees the matchup turning brutally dangerous, with Garry's survival and ability to escape becoming the real test.
Ryan, let me tell you this. If Ian Garry gets taken down, and he's likely to get taken down, if he goes to his back and starts to play a guard game, this is very bad.
Chael Sonnen makes it clear, if Ian Garry's plan is to hunt for a submission from his back, you'd be wise to bet on Islam Makhachev. But if Garry can frustrate the takedown, reverse Islam and explode back to his feet, suddenly the entire fight changes. For Chael, that relentless scramble and escape game is the only smart path for Garry against Islam's suffocating grappling.
If Ian Garry's strategy is to submit Islam Makhachev, you're very wise to bet on Islam. But if Ian plans to make it difficult to get the takedown and then reverse it and or stand up, that's a totally different approach, but that's the right approach, particularly for a kickboxer.
Former UFC champion Henry Cejudo says Islam Makhachev has everything on the line. At UFC 331 victory could break the UFC's longest win streak record and cement his dominance. Defending that belt isn't just another win, it could launch Islam straight into the top 5 greatest fighters in UFC history. Usman warns that beating Ian Garry while defending his second title would put Islam in a completely different class of elite fighters. The stakes are massive. Islam isn't just fighting for another victory, he's fighting to carve his name into UFC history forever.
With the victory for Islam Makhachev, where does that put him, bro? Now he breaks the record for the longest win streak in UFC history. He defends his second title. I mean, dude, he locks in. He's probably locking in at number anywhere between top 3, top 4 greatest of all time with a victory over this. Because if he never defends your belt, Kamaru, it's not the same, bro. So this fight, there's a lot at stake here. It's not just the win streak. Because the way I've always saw things is like, you can fight a bunch of tomato cans. Again, I'm not saying that he did, Kamaru, before you come at me. Kamaru Karen. But, what I am saying is, I mean, there is a lot at stake here. And even for Ian Garry, if Ian Garry does get the victory over Islam Makhachev, like, bro, he jumps into the pound for pound list automatically, at least in the top 5 right away. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot at stake for both, man. But I do feel like there's a lot more at stake for Islam Makhachev for that same reason I'm telling you. He breaks the record. And not only does he break the record, but because he defended his belt, you automatically possibly put him top 3 greatest of all time.
Teddy Atlas declares Ian Garry has a real chance to upset the apple cart against Islam Makhachev if everything clicks on fight night. He says Garry's physical, mental, and technical weapons give him a dangerous path to shock the dominant champion. But Atlas makes it clear he's not guaranteeing a Garry victory. He's saying the challenger has the tools to turn the entire fight upside down.
He's got a chance to upset the apple cart. Oh, I said it. I'm not saying he's going to win, but the reason I give him a chance is for everything I just laid out. in the physical world, in the mental world, in the technical world, in the confidence world, in all of that. And I think that he has, if he could have that special night.
Teddy Atlas says Ian Garry has to stay on his feet, control the distance, and avoid Islam Makhachev's takedowns at all costs. If Garry can neutralize Islam's wrestling, Atlas believes his length, athleticism, and striking finally become dangerous weapons. But if Islam drags him to the floor, Atlas warns Garry's dangerous skills mean nothing. He has to survive the takedown battle first.
He was able, you can have the ability to strike. You're going to have the ability to be long. You're going to have the ability to be athletic. But if you're on the freaking floor, that ability ain't being used. I'm saying that I think he can stay on his feet because of those things I just laid out. Control range, avoid takedowns, and have a chance.
However, Michael Venom Paige puts all his chips firmly behind Islam Makhachev, believing Islam can control the fight and potentially win quite comfortably. But MVP refuses to write Ian Garry off, warning that the Irishman could shock everyone who expects an easy walkover. He sees Garry as a dangerous, resilient fighter who can make the fight far more competitive than people anticipate. Still, when the final verdict is on the table, MVP's money is on Islam, and Garry has to prove him completely wrong.
I'm definitely in Islam's corner. I can definitely see him winning the fight, potentially quite comfortably. But I do believe Ian Garry will shock many people who thinks it's going to be a straight walkover. I think he will shock many people with how competitive this fight might be. Or it goes exactly as we all predict, and Islam goes in there, plays around, acts like he's going to strike, grabs him, takes him to the floor, and just squeezes his head off. And you just see Ian Garry's head pop. So yeah, but definitely, regardless, the win for me will be in Islam's corner. And if Ian Garry gets it, man, whoa, boy, have I underestimated him.
Coach Javier Mendes claims this version of Islam Makhachev is far more dangerous than the fighter who faced Jack Della Maddalena. He says Islam is now completely comfortable at welterweight, sharper, stronger, and fully prepared for the moment the cage door closes. Mendes points to Islam's elite level sparring, insisting his confidence has reached another level during this camp. And with that preparation behind him, Mendes sends a brutal warning. Ian Garry is about to face an Islam operating at an entirely different level.
Well, from the first to the second one, what I have in front of me is a much better Islam than when he fought Jack. He's more comfortable, like you're saying, with the weight. He knows what he's doing. He's been here before. And when he gets into that octagon, he's going to know exactly what he needs to do. And he's going to have the confidence riding behind him. And look, listen, a lot of the confidence comes from your sparring. How well you do with high-level sparring, and he's done unbelievable. He always has, but he's at another level. I'm telling you guys, he's at another level right now.
The Wade Concept boldly backed Islam Makhachev, saying he sees Islam taking over this fight with a potential submission in the second or third round. He questioned whether Ian Garry can stay aggressive and keep himself off the cage while dealing with Islam's relentless pressure and grappling. Wade warned that once Islam gets his hands locked in and starts grappling, his grip strength and technique could become completely overwhelming for Garry. And if the submission doesn't come early, Wade still sees Islam controlling the fight and securing a decision victory.
I think Islam Makhachev wins this fight. I think he could win it by submission, and I think he could win it by submission relatively early. I'm thinking like second, third round, mainly because I don't know how aggressive Ian Garry is going to be. I don't know if he's going to be able to take that front foot and try to keep himself off the back of the cage. And even when he does throw his kicks, how many times does he get to throw it before a read is picked up and Islam fires something down the middle and then looks to grapple behind it, or tries to close range and grapple there? I could see early on Ian Garry getting shocked by maybe underestimating Islam striking a bit and getting, pushed back on the back foot for it, and then here comes the grappling. And if that's the case, the grip strength of Islam Makhachev would take over and I think be overwhelming, plus the technique. But if not for an early submission, I think Islam could definitely win.
In the 10, Demetrius Johnson comes down firmly on Islam Makhachev, believing Islam can win this fight wherever it goes. He says if Islam gets his hands on Ian Garry, drags him to the ground, and starts passing guard, the finish is there. But if Garry keeps running and forces Islam to chase him for 5 rounds, Johnson sees the fight going to a decision. Ultimately, DJ's prediction is clear. Islam's pressure, grappling, and ability to control the fight give him the edge.
So boys, who do I have winning against Ian Garry versus Islam Makhachev? I'm gonna go with Islam Makhachev. I think Islam Makhachev can win the fight anywhere. Now, do we think Islam Makhachev is going to win by decision or a finish? Islam said he's going to get it done. Islam said he's going to get it done within 3 rounds. And, you know, it just all depends how Islam approaches the fight and how Ian Garry approaches the fight. If Ian Garry is running a lot and Islam's having a hard time catching him, it's probably going to go to a decision. But if Islam Makhachev is able to get his hands on Ian Garry, get him to the ground, and start to pass his guard, then he'll finish him. It all depends how the reaction is going to be when the two clash. And that's will dictate if it's going to be finish or a decision.
The predictions are in, and the MMA world is split between Islam's suffocating grappling and Garry's dangerous striking and movement. Bisping, Sonnen, Cejudo, MVP, Mendes, Wade Concept, and Demetrius Johnson all lean toward Islam, while Adesanya backed Garry for the upset. Now that the fight is over, the real question is simple. Who got it right? If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that subscribe button and turn on notification. We've got the biggest UFC reactions, predictions, and post-fight analysis coming your way. Subscribe now and don't miss the next fight breakdown.